Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video. It is currently 1 in the morning and we're about to build a tech blog. So we create this with Next.js and Tailwind. Here's the home page where you can view the featured posts and also the latest posts. And if you want, you can also subscribe to our newsletter as well. And then if we head over to the post page, here we can filter out and find the right blog for us. In this project, you're going to learn how to use Next.js dynamic routing. We'll be also adding dark mode with Tailwind. We're going to create reusable components and custom hooks and much more. So let's get started on this project. Alright, so let's go ahead and install all of our packages. We'll be installing Next.js first. So I'm going to copy this code and paste it over inside of my project. And it's going to ask a few questions. We won't be using TypeScript in this project. ESLint, no. Tailwind, yes. Source directory, no. App router, yes. And the last question is optional. I like using the import alias. However, it is a little bit buggy. Sometimes I find myself coming back to my project and the import alias doesn't even work for some reason, but we will be using it in this project, and we'll be using the @ symbol. All right, so give that time to install. While that's going, head over to Daisy UI, and we'll be using a little bit of Daisy UI, not too much, and just copy over this code here. And we'll paste this there. So it's Daisy UI. And now I'm going to install 2 more packages. We'll be installing React icons and a package called CLSX. And I'll explain that a little bit later once we use it. So let's go ahead and npm I CLSX space React icons. All right. Nice. So we got all our packages installed. Let's head over to our Tailwind config and fix this up a little bit. So we'll be adding dark and light mode. So we gotta fix up our Tailwind config. Let's go ahead and get rid of the background image, and we're gonna extend our colors a little bit. So we're gonna do colors, and we'll just be adding 2 colors. We're gonna do dark, and the color code for this is 232 A 3C. All right, that's our dark, and then we'll be adding a medium, and the color code for this one is 293 245. Okay. And those are the only 2 colors we're going to extend. The rest of the colors we'll be using, it's built into Tailwind. So now that we installed Daisy UI, we have to add in inside of our plugins here. So we're going to do require, and we just do parentheses and then add Daisy UI like that. So now we have Daisy UI installed, and whenever you install Daisy UI, it kind of takes over your website because they have built-in themes, and whenever, like I said, whenever you install it, it changes the whole entire theme of your website, the colors and stuff like that. But we won't be using Daisy UI themes. We'll be using the built-in Tailwind dark and light mode. So to get rid of Daisy UI themes, all you have to do is underneath this content array, we'll just be adding Daisy UI, and all you have to do is do a themes and just do an empty array like that. Make sure you add a comma like that. And now, like I said, we'll be using Tailwind built-in dark mode. So all you have to do is do dark mode, and you can do class like that. All right, and make sure you add a comma. Okay. So I believe that is it for now. We could probably add a media query in here just in case we need it. I'm not sure if I used it or not. I always make sure I add this to my project before I start. So we're gonna do theme, and we're gonna do screens. Oh, actually we already got themes there. Actually no, we're gonna keep this theme here. So that's themes with an S. We're gonna keep this one without the S. We're gonna do screens, and in here we're gonna add our own media query. You can name this whatever you want. I just named mine XS, and we want the breakpoint to be 475 pixels like that. And we gotta make sure we add this before Tailwind default themes. So we're gonna add a spread operator here and do default themes, default theme dot screens. All right, and we gotta add a comma right here. So whenever we run our project, we'll get an error saying that default theme isn't defined. To fix that, all we gotta do is up here, we're gonna do a const default theme, and we're gonna require tailwind CSS / default theme default theme like that. All right, so that should fix that. Let me just make sure. Oh, I spelled default. Really? Default theme like that. Perfect. All right, wait, default, I spelled default wrong. There we go. I was wondering why I wasn't highlighted. All right, so I believe that is it for now. Tailwind CSS / default theme. All right, cool. If we got to come back in here, totally fine, we'll fix it. All right, so let's head over, let's move up. And so inside of our public, let's go ahead and get rid of these SVGs. I like cleaning up everything. And we're gonna add a folder in here, and it's gonna be called assets. That's where all of our images are gonna go. It's not too many that we use actually. And inside of our app, we're gonna change the names of our layout and page. So if you don't use TypeScript, by default, the layout in this home page ends in .js. We want it to end in .jsx, just so we have access to those the JSX like snippets and stuff like that. So JSX like that. And inside of our page, we're gonna go to Control All, and I'm gonna go ahead and export this. Delete React, and actually I don't know why it did that. One second. Do RFE like that, and we're gonna change this to home, and then change this to home, and we could just add some style in here just so we can see that Tailwind is working. We'll do a text 3XL. All right, so inside of our layout, let's go ahead and fix this up a bit. We're gonna change the font first to Poppins. So let's go ahead and change this enter to Poppins. That, and that's from Next/font/Google, and we just gotta change this to Poppins as well, and then change this to Poppins. Make sure that this one is uppercase. And for the subsets, you can keep Latin. We're gonna do a comma, and we're gonna add our weight. Weight, we're just gonna use 400 and 700. 400 and 700 like that. And for the metadata, it's really good for SEO. So let's go ahead and change our title to Tech Pulse, the name of our website, and description you could just do like tech blog. There we go. All right, and coming down here, we're gonna change this to Poppins like that. All right, let's go ahead and start our project up and make sure everything is running, that we don't have any errors. Npm run dev and localhost 3000. All right, let me open up the terminal. Normally it shows you if you got an error before the page even loads. Nice. So we have Tailwind's working, so that's text3xl. And we forgot to take out the global style in here, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. All right. So it's gonna save that, and our page should turn white now. Nice. Okay, cool. So we'll come back to our layout because we got to add some styles to our body, but I kind of want to get all the folder structure and stuff done, and then we'll start with the navbar and stuff like that. So trying to stay organized here. So let's get rid of this favicon here and delete that. And so let's create our folders that we'll be using. So instead of the root of our folder, we're gonna create a folder called components, and this is where all of our components is gonna go. And then we're gonna create another folder, and this is gonna be hooks. It's where our custom hooks is gonna go. All right, and we're gonna create another folder, and it's gonna be called constants. And this is where like our data is gonna go, and we're gonna be mapping through our links. So this is where all of our stuff like that is gonna go. All right, and actually, since we just made the folder, let's go ahead and add this stuff in here now. So inside of constants, we're gonna make two files. You guys most likely just gonna download this folder, but this is just data that I typed up. So first one is just gonna be links.jsx. I'm gonna copy this over, and we're gonna paste that in here like that. You can ignore the store one here. All right, so these are all our links we're gonna be mapping through, and that way we don't have to do it a bunch of times. We'll just do it one time. We'll be making reusable components in this project, which is really helpful when it comes to React. So inside of constants, I'm going to create another file, and this one is just going to be called post. So post with an s.jsx, and this is a really long file. I use ChatGPT to help me with typing all of this up, to be honest, but it didn't do it right, so I had to go back and like fix a bunch of this. So I'm going to paste this, and this is all of our blog data. This isn't a full stack project, so we'll just be using this this data, hard-coded data from our constants folder instead of like fetching it from a database. So yeah, here's all the blogs and stuff like that. So once you got that, we shouldn't even need to open this folder anymore. So that's our constants folder. And now I say I think we're ready to start the navbar, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. Actually, so inside of global CSS, I do have some styling that we're going to be using inside here. So like I said, I'm gonna have this in the downloads, and this is just simple styling just to save us some time. I'm gonna go over everything once we get to that section. So we got a wrapper here, and this is basically just going to, width 90%, margin auto, and the max width that, and our mobile menu, position absolute. We got theme toggle, the ball inside of our theme toggle. It's gonna all make sense once we get to that section. Got newsletter form, and our newsletter input. Not too much styling. We'll be doing most of the styling from scratch, but just to save some time, I just added this stuff here. All right, just make sure you download the global CSS file and move it over to your project. All right, so I believe that is it for this section. I say we go ahead and start the navbar. All right, so head over to the components folder and we're going to create two components. The first one we're going to create is navbar.jsx. And the second one we're going to create is mobile menu. So mobile menu.jsx. So we're going to have two components, one for our mobile and one for our desktop. I just find it so much easier doing it this way. You can make one big component as well, but I just find it easier just splitting them up into two. All right, so that's that. And now let's just head over to Navbar. We're going to start here. And actually, let's go ahead and export this file so we can go ahead and add it to our layout. So I'm going to head over to app layout. And I want it right on top of my children. So I'm just going to do Navbar and make sure you import it. And now we should see our navbar right there. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and close out of layout and head back over to our navbar. All right, so let's see how we're gonna do this. Just have to close out of that. So first thing, which you should always do before you make a component, you need to basically decide if it's going to be a server component or a client component. So we'll be using on clicks and use state, stuff like that. So in this component, so we have to make it a use client. Okay. And we're going to import a few things. We're going to import link from Next. We're also going to import mobile menu, which we didn't even export. So let's go ahead and export that like that. Okay. And we're going to import mobile menu here as well. Import mobile menu. We're going to import CLSX, that package that I told you guys to install earlier. You guys gonna see what this does. I could just quickly explain it. It basically lets you write, dynamic classes. You can do that without this, but I just find it so much easier using this package, in my opinion. We're also going to import our links from that constants folder. I'm gonna do links, and for now, I believe this should be it. We got more imports, but we're gonna do that a little bit later. All right, so return, and let's start writing some JSX. It looks like we got an error actually. Maybe, okay, that's because we don't have anything in this return. All right, so we're gonna do a nav, and this nav is gonna have a class name of with full, py of 5. And on dark screens, it's gonna have a BG of dark. Okay. We didn't make the dark toggle. So what I might do actually is I might not put any styling for dark and light mode yet until we add the toggle. I'm trying to think of how hard that would be to go back and fix everything. We'll be adding the toggle after this, but after this nav bar. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a lot. Actually, I'm just gonna keep it in. Yeah, we'll just keep it in there. All right, so we're gonna do a div inside of this nav, and it's gonna be a class name of wrapper, flex, item center, and a justify between. All right, and this wrapper is coming from our global CSS file, which is just width of 90%. Margin of auto, a max width of 1400 pixels. Right. I use this in mostly all of my projects. Some people, they add padding on the left and right and then do a margin of auto and then add the max width, but I just do percentage. Hasn't failed me yet. Gonna keep doing it. All right, so inside of this div we're gonna have a link And this inside of this link, we're gonna have a h1, and it's just gonna say tech pulse. All right, save that, and we're gonna get an error because the Next.js takes a href for inside of the link, so we gotta make sure we add href, and it's just gonna lead us back to home once we click on it. And we had a class name of flex1. All right, nice. So there we go. And for the h1, this is gonna have a class name of font bold, a text of gray 900, text of 2XL, and on dark screens it's just going to be a text white. Okay, nice. And after after this h1, we're going to have a React icon. So I told you guys to install React icon, and the icon we're going to use is this one here. It is IOMD pulse from React icon /IO. Make sure you guys import this. So right underneath this A1, we're gonna add that React icon. That's a self-closing tag, and we should see it right there. But we gotta add some styling to it. We're gonna do a class name of text 3XL and a text sky 400, like that. All right. And we're also gonna add an aria hidden, because we don't want screen readers to see that. We just want them to read tech blog. We're gonna add aria hidden, and it's gonna be true. Add a little bit of accessibility. I'm still trying to learn more about accessibility and make sure all of my sites are accessible. Still got a lot to work on though, because I be forgetting to add it, I'm not gonna lie still. So link, we got that, and we actually forgot a div. So right underneath this link, we're gonna have a div, and that's gonna wrap our h1 and our React icon inside of it, so like that. Okay. And this div is going to have a class name of flex, a gap of 1, and a item center, like that. Okay, let's take a look. Nice. So we got our logo and our React icon with it, so it looks nice. So right underneath this link, we're going to have a div. And this div is going to have a class name of flex, gap of 8, max LG of the gap is going to be 5, item center, a flex of 1, and on max medium screens, we want it to be hidden. Hidden. I'm gonna do text of gray 600. We're going on dark screens. The text is going to be white. Text white, and we also gonna add a justify center. All right. So inside of this div, we're going to map through our links, which we imported from our constants folder that we made earlier. So it's just an array of just different links. You got the route, you got the label, nothing too fancy there. So let's go ahead and map through that. And so we're gonna do links, it's uppercase, links dot map. We're gonna do a link, and you're gonna do a comma index, and in here we're just gonna return actually So instead of doing brackets, we're gonna do parentheses like that, and we're just gonna return. Actually, we're not gonna return anything. We're just gonna. I'm trying to think because let's see. So mine's different because I did something totally different. So we're just gonna do a link, and what we'll do for now is just we're just gonna do a link like this. So link from Next.js, and the href is going to be link.route, and inside of this we're gonna do a link dot, what was it, label, I believe, label, like that. So yeah, we can just do it like that for now. As you can see, we got them right there, but this is going to change once we add our custom hook, our use menu active hook that I created. This basically shows the active icon, the active link. So the reason why we do it this way is because we're gonna have active links in our nav and also active links in our footer, and we don't want to have to rewrite all of this code again. So I made a custom hook, and we also make a reusable link component as well. But for now, we're just gonna keep it like this, and whenever we get to that part, that's when we'll come back and fix this. So we got our link item. We have our links here, and now after this div here, I believe we're gonna have another div, and this is gonna have our theme toggle and our mobile menu and stuff. So I'm gonna do class name of flex1, justify of end flex, a gap of 3, and an items center. All right, so in here we're going to have our theme toggle, which we haven't created yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put theme toggle, and let's go ahead and create that inside of our components right quick. Theme toggle.jsx. Okay, that's going to export it. All right, and I'm just going to put TT there like that for theme toggle. Don't want to take up too much space. And let's go to import this here. So up here, import theme toggle. Okay. All right, nice. So that's where our theme toggle is going to go. But we also want our mobile menu here as well. Mobile menu like that. All right, so there we go. All right, so I believe that is it for this section for now. We'll come back, like I said, and add our active links and a few other things as well. And yeah, I believe that's it for this one. So let's head over to mobile menu, and let's start writing some code in here. This is going to be our mobile menu. So we're going to import link from Next. We're also going to import use state. We're going to import 2 React icons. One is called HI menu, and the other one is MD outline close. So make sure you guys import these, and also make sure you guys are putting the // HI and /MD, just so the imports can work. All right, so right after, so let's go ahead and set some state now. So we're going to go ahead and do const open mobile menu, and then I'll set open mobile menu, and this is going to equal use state, and the default value is going to be false. All right. Messed up there in a comma. Okay. So that's that. And we're also going to create a mobile menu function. So whenever we click on that hamburger menu, this HI menu icon, we want to set open menu to toggle open mobile menu, if that makes sense. So whenever you click it, it just keeps toggling on and off, on and off. So to do that, all you have to do is do a const mobile, sorry, my neck is itching, mobile menu handler. You can name this whatever you want. Just do mobile menu handler, arrow function, and in here we're just going to do set open mobile menu to toggle open mobile menu, like that. All right, nice. So let's go ahead and write some JSX now. So in here we're going to do fragments like that, and this is actually where we're going to use some Daisy UI. So if you head over to Daisy UI, head over to Daisy UI and go to C components. They have this thing called, let's see if I can find it. Layout, data, swap. Here we go. So yeah, they have the swap thing. At first I used this one for my light and dark mode on this project, but I ended up taking it off and just made my own toggle. However, I did use this swap for the hamburger menu. So head over to Daisy UI and click on JSX. Don't copy all of the code because we're actually gonna create our own hamburger menu and our close icon with our own from React icons. We're not going to use theirs. So they used a SVG for theirs, and we're not going to use that. So I'm trying to think the easiest way. Let's see. Actually, just copy this here, this label, and I'm gonna paste it right there. All right. So inside of this label, this is where we're gonna put our own code. So we're just gonna add an input. All right, and you can make it a self-closing tag. And in here, I'm gonna do a type, and it's going to be checkbox. All right, and then our on click is going to be our mobile menu handler. All right, and then checked, this is where we're going to do brackets, and we're going to do if it's mobile menu, open mobile menu, it's going to be false. This is basically just toggling between the two, and then we're going to do true like that. All right, and then now we can add our, still inside of our label, this is where we're going to add our icons to HI menu like that. And then we're also going to add our MD close, MD outline close like that. All right, so let's take a look at this and see if this works. Head back over to our project. As you can see, it is looking weird. Let's see, swap. Oh, okay, I see what I did. I see what's wrong. So just take off button and take off button circle, and just keep swap and swap rotate, and that should fix it. But for some reason it's just looking weird, right? Type checkbox, on click. Maybe we have to, let's see, let's go to our tailwind config just to make sure we require Daisy UI. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it should be, that should be working, right? Head back over to our mobile. Let's add some style into this. Let's do a class name of dark, We're gonna do text white. Okay, I see what we did here. So we're gonna do a swap of on. Okay, and we're gonna do a fill, and we're gonna do current, like that. And it's that these two are from Daisy UI. The fill current and the swap on are from Daisy UI. And we can set our width, so we're gonna do a width of 6 and a height of 6. Okay. And now we can see, as you can see, we can see it now. And you see it got that nice little animation. And for the MD outline, you can just copy this class name over here. But instead of swap on, we're gonna do swap off. Okay. And now once we click on it, we got that nice little effect, and I really like it. It looks nice. All right, cool. So now underneath our label, we're going to render out if our mobile menu is open. So we're going to do open mobile menu, and this is where we're going to return some JSX. So we're going to do a div, and this class name is going to have mobile dash menu, and that's coming from our global CSS. And in here we're gonna have a link, a link, and it's just gonna say actually we can just, I don't know why I didn't just render, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So get rid of that, and we're going to import our links from our constant. Okay, and now in here, this is where we're going to render our links. We're going to do links dot map, and we do a link. We're also going to do a index, and in here we're just going to render out a link like that, and href is going to be our link dot route, and then inside of our link we're just going to do a link dot label like that. Okay. We're getting an error. Let's see what we did here. Okay, so we forgot the so we're doing basically a if a ternary operator. So we're doing, if it's open menu, we're gonna render out this. So we kind of need like our else. So if it's not, we're just gonna return null like that. So let's click, and as you can see, we can see the stuff, but we don't see our links. All right, so small mistake. So whenever you're using the .map and you want to return JSX, you got to make sure that JSX is wrapped in parentheses. So I got this one wrapped in brackets. I'm going to change that to parentheses, and let's see if this works now. Save it, and there we go. Nice. So we got our mobile menu perfectly. All right, so we don't want to see this mobile menu now, obviously. We just want it to be on mobile. So to get rid of it, we're just going to add a MD hidden right here on our label. We're going to do MD of hidden like that. Right. Oh, sorry, MD. Yep, I put an MD. There we go. So now we got rid of it. And for some reason, let's see if this works. So we got that, and that also disappears. And now once we click on it, we got our mobile menu. Nice. All right, cool. So I think we're done our menu for now. What I think I might do, I say we're gonna do the theme toggle next, and then we're gonna do our active links, make our pages, and do our active links, and then do our footer, and then the hero section, and so on. So let's go ahead and do the theme toggle now. All right, so before we write any code inside of our theme toggle component, let's head over to layout and let's make a few changes. So inside of our body, we're gonna add some more classes to it. But before we add more, let's actually put backticks. Let's copy this, put backticks, and we're gonna do the $sign and wrap this in brackets so that way we can add more style into it. So we're gonna add a BG of gray 100. Sorry. And for dark mode, the background is going to be let me make sure this is the right one. So it's 293245. I know we did it in here. 2932, so it's medium. Okay. All right, so let's head back up to layout and just do a BG of medium like that. And we don't need that bracket there. And we're gonna do an overflow X hidden like that. Let's save that, and you should see our page turn into like this light grayish color. Really huge fan of this color, especially whenever you add like blue to it. It looks so nice. All right, so that's actually all we need to do inside of our layout for this entire project. Let me just make sure. Actually, no, we got to come back in here and add our footer right underneath our children. But for now, we can close out of that. So let's head over to our theme toggle and let's start with this. All right, so first thing, let's go ahead and import some stuff. We're going to go ahead and import use effect and also use state from React. And we all know we're gonna need two React icons. We're using FA Moon and BS Sun Fill. Oh, sorry, got the copy. Let me just copy these over, copy, and then paste. So yeah, FA Moon and BS Sun Fill from React icons, and we're also gonna be using the CLSX as well. But before we continue, let's head back over to our Navbar, where I think I imported this here and we didn't use it, so we don't need it there. We're actually going to use it inside of our theme toggle. All right, so let's go ahead and set some state. We're gonna go ahead and do const dark mode and then set dark mode. And this is going to equal use state, and by default it's actually going to be true. Most of the time you do it, it's false. All right, and let's do our use effect. So we're going to do a use effect arrow function. I'm using a different keyboard right now. Switch back to my old one. We're going to do a const theme, and this is going to equal local storage get item theme like that. And then we're going to do an if check. I'm going to do if our theme triple equals to dark. We're just going to set our dark mode to true. So this is basically just going off your local storage on your device. So if you have dark mode enabled, like on your computer or your phone, whenever you go to the website, it'll read that and set the dark mode to true. All right, and we need a dependency array. So it's just gonna be empty like that. And now we're gonna make another use effect. All right, and in here we're gonna do a if else. So we're gonna do if is dark mode. We're gonna do a document element. Oh man, let me scroll down some. document element, and then we're gonna do dot classless, and we're gonna add dark to it. Add dark like that. All right, and we also gonna set our local storage as well. So we're gonna do a local storage, local dot storage. Oh, sorry, local dot set item. We're gonna do theme and then comma dark like that. All right, and we can actually just copy this again. This is gonna look just like our else statement. I'll copy that. So after this, we're gonna do an else, and then in here paste that. So we're gonna do a document element dot classless, and we're gonna remove instead of add. Remove dark, and then we're gonna local storage dot set item theme, and we're gonna set it to light. All right, and this also need a dependency array. We're gonna do dark mode. Look out for any changes in our dark mode. All right, so that's it for that. Let's go ahead and write some JSX down. So get rid of that, put parentheses, and we're gonna do a div, and this is going to be a class name. And we're actually going to use a CLSX package that we installed. So to do this, you're just going to do brackets, CLSX, you can do parentheses. And now in here, you can do dynamic class names. So we're going to do theme toggle, which is from our global CSS style that I had you guys download, and do a comma. And now we could just do a if check. We can do dark mode. If it's dark mode, we want the BG to be white, and else we just want the BG to be sky 400. Okay. So yeah, again, this CLSX is not really needed. You can still do dynamic class names, just how we did in here. You just put the backticks and do the $sign. As you can see, our thing changed once we saved everything. But yeah, you can do it this way as well. You don't need that package, but I like it. Let's go back to theme toggle. All right, so inside of this inside of this div, actually let's add this on click to it. So I'm gonna add an on click, so I'm gonna add some space on click, and this is going to set our dark mode to toggle dark mode. I'm gonna do an arrow function, do set dark mode, and it's just going to toggle dark mode like that. All right, so inside of this div, we're gonna have our icons. So we're gonna do FA moon, and this is gonna take some classes and the class name of text white, and we also gonna do a size of 18. All right, gonna save that. Yeah, everything looks okay. So once you click, as you can see, it turns light dark. All right, nice. So after that, we're gonna add a div underneath here, and this is gonna have a class name of ball. So this is coming from our global CSS as well, and we're also gonna add an inline style as well. So we can do style, and we do a dark mode. So if it's dark mode, sorry about that car out there. So if it's dark mode, we want it to be left 2 pixels. All right, and then else we want it to be right 2 pixels. 2 pixels like that. All right, we should be able to see it now. Let's see. Okay, there it goes. All right, nice. But for some reason our inline style isn't working, so let's see what the issue is. So it's dark mode, we want left to be 2 pixels, because it's, if you head over to our global CSS, head down to ball, it's position absolute, so that's why we're using left and right. Head back to the theme toggle. So, oh, that's why. So left 2 pixels. There we go. All right, so let's see if this works now. All right, so it's still not. Oh, what the heck? Why did it? There we go. There we go. Nice. So there's our theme toggle, and now we just gotta add our sun icon. So right underneath this div, I'm gonna do BS sun, and it's gonna take a class name of margin left auto and a text of yellow 400, and also a size of 18 as well. All right, nice. Let's see. There's our sun, and there's our moon, and now we have light and dark mode enabled. Nice. Okay, I believe that is it for our theme toggle. So now I say we go ahead and do our active links and make our pages, and then we're going to start our footer. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so let's go ahead and start our active links. So inside of our app, let's go ahead and make our pages. We will be using app router. So first page we're going to make is about. So about folder, and in here we're going to do a page.tsx. I use TypeScript a little bit too much. All right, so page, and let's go ahead and export it while we're here. All right, we got our about page, and now we're going to create another page, another folder, and I'm going to do contact, and then in here same thing, I'm going to use a page.jsx. Export this as well. All right, and last but not least, we're going to do a post folder, POTS, and in here we're going to have another page.jsx. All right, and it's going to export this. All right, nice. All right, so let's go ahead and close out everything, because we got to make some more components. All right, close out all this. All right, so the first component we're gonna make is a link item, so that way we can have active links inside of our navbar and our footer as well. So we'll be making a reusable component. So to do this, let's go inside of our components, and we're going to make a link item. So here, let's do link item.jsx. Let's go and export it. Okay, let's see. All right, so here we're gonna do 2 imports. Actually, let's just do 1 import for now. Let's do an import of link. Okay, so we got our link item. So now let's head over to our hooks actually, and we're going to create a custom hook, and it's going to be a use menu active hook. Something that I created. So we're going to use menu active.jsx, like I said, so that way I can use this in other projects as well, and also I can use it inside of my navbar and my footer to have active links and don't have to rewrite this code. So to make this hook, we're going to do an import, 2 imports. We're going to do use router, and we're also going to be using use path name. All right, and the reason why this isn't auto completing, because since we're using the app directory, we're not using Next router. We're going to be using Next navigation. So I believe this is like the newest thing to do here. Next router is the old way to do it. So we're going to do a const use menu active, I probably should have came up with a better name for this. And this is going to take in a route. And we're going to do a const router. And this is going to equal use router. All right. And then we're going to do a const path name. Path name. And this is going to equal use path name. Like that. Const. Wait, what did I do? Oh, sorry. All right, there we go. And now we're gonna do const is active, and this is going to be path name dot includes our route and our route dot length is greater than 1. All right, or our path name is triple equals to our route. All right, and then after all of that, we're just going to return is active like that. All right, let's go and export default it. I'm going to export default use menu active. So there is our custom route. Wait, this new keyboard, man, I need to really, I'm saving up for it. The keyboard that I type so fast with is the MacBook keyboard. So I want the Apple keyboard. I believe the one that I want is like 169, and I got 3 kids right now, man. I wouldn't be able to live with myself paying that much for a keyboard right now. So maybe Christmas I'll probably ask for it from the wifey or something, but for now I'm just using this mechanical keyboard. I don't know if you guys can hear it, and I type so slow, and I just don't like it. I don't know why I picked it up. Maybe because it was cheaper. But yeah, so that is our use menu active hook. So we're done with this. It's going to close out of that. And now let's head back over to our Navbar. Okay. And let's go ahead and import that use menu item. And we're also going to import link item as well. Let me go ahead and open that up. So import use menu active. And also import link item like that. All right, so down here we can actually get rid of this map if we want to do something totally different. You can actually keep some of it actually, but all of it actually, let's just retype it. All right, so let's go ahead and do a links.map. If I can get to the spot, do links dot map, and we're gonna take in a link, and we're also gonna take in our index, and instead of parentheses we're actually going to use brackets because we're going to write our own return statement within this map. So before that we're going to actually do a const is active, and this is going to equal our use menu active hook, and it's going to take in our link dot route. Okay, so if you head back over to our use menu active, we're taking in our route, so that's what we're sending to this this custom hook. So inside of our navbar we're sending over our link dot route. I don't know why I keep writing the S. All right, and now we're going to write our own return statement in here. So we're going to do a return parentheses, and we're going to just return a link item. Okay, but we want to send it over some props. So we want to send it over our key, which is going to be our index. We're going to send over our route, which is going to be our link dot route, and then we also gonna send over our label. It's gonna be our label. Our route dot label. Our link dot label. Sorry. And then our is active, and that's going to be is active, like that. All right, nice. Whoa. Okay. All right. So now let's head back over to our link item. And now we gotta take in those props. So we're gonna take in a route. I'm gonna take in our label. I'm taking is active. And we're also gonna take in we don't need footer for now, but yeah, let's go ahead and do index. I'm trying to think. Actually, we don't need to take in our index. All right. So in here, we're gonna return some JSX, of course, and we're gonna return a link. And that's a self-closing tag. But before we write anything within that link, let's go ahead and import CLSX, because we're going to be writing some dynamic class names in here. So for the href for this link, it's going to just be route, because we sent it over from our navbar. And so this isn't a self-closing tag actually. So between inside of our link, we're just gonna have our label, and let's just make sure everything is working right. So save that, and we should see our navbar switch back to how it was. And let's write some class names. It's gonna be pretty complicated one here. So that's the whole reason of using CLSX, is for complicated class names like this. So we do a class name, we do brackets and CLSX parentheses, and now by default I want the padding px3 and do a py of 1, okay, and do a comma. So we're gonna check if is active, and so if it's active, we're gonna do a bg sky 400, a text of white, and a rounded MD, like that. Okay, and there we go. So let's see if this works. So once we click, and now we're on our about page, we're on our post page, and we're on our contact. So this works. And just make sure you guys add this pattern as the default, and make sure you're not adding it within the is active, because if we add it here, let me just show you what happens. So let's cut that and just add it right here. So we add it right there. Once we click on this, you see how it's jumping? It kind of like jumps and get bigger. I don't know if you guys can tell. So we don't want that. We want the pattern to always be there, just so that way that it just comes natural whenever the background and none of the links actually move. I'm gonna save that. Okay, nice. All right, so I believe we're done. It's gonna be more class names in this once we add our footer, but I believe we're done with the active links for our navbar. So let's go ahead and create our footer now, and then add more styling to this link item, so that way we can have active links inside of our footer. All right, so let's go ahead and close out of everything, and let's go to components and create our footer. All right, it's going to export it. And now let's add it inside of our layout. Right over the layout. So right underneath our children, do footer. Okay, nice. So we should see our footer, which is right there. Nice. All right, We're going to be using Daisy UI for our footer. So head over to Daisy UI, and under layout you should see footer, and I believe we used this one here, or maybe not. Hold on, which one did we use? I believe we used this one right here. So center footer with social icons. So what we can do is just actually just copy this, and we're just going to switch it up a little bit. So inside of our footer, right inside of this return, go ahead and just paste that and click save. Okay, and let's just take a quick look. As you can see, we got our footer just like that easy. But we are going to switch it up a bit. So inside of the footer, we're going to change up the class names just a bit for the footer. So we're going to keep footer, keep footer center, padding 10, a BG base 200, a text based content, round it. But we're going to add, so for dark, we want the BG to be 23283C. Let's see which one that was. 23. So it's dark. Okay. All right. So footer, so BG is going to be dark, and we're also going to make the text white, and we're going to add a border to the top, a border T. And on dark, we want border to be none. Okay, take a quick look. We got our border there, and there we go, as you can see. All right, nice. So we don't want to use their links, we want to use our own links. So everything inside of this nav here, like that, we can delete. And now let's make some imports. So we got 3 imports. First, we got to make this a use client. All right, because we're using our custom hook. We're going to import use menu hook. I'm going to use menu active. All right, and we're going to import a link item as well. For a link item, and we're also going to import our links. Links like that. All right. So we got use menu active, link item, and our links. So inside here, we're essentially going to do the same exact thing as we did in our Navbar. So we could just copy this whole entire map here, copy that, and just paste it inside of our footer. Where are we at? Go like that, paste it in there. And there we go. But it has this styling that we don't want. So the styling I want, I just want this to be underlined, and that's it. And to make the color blue on the text itself, not the background. So we're going to change up the styling a bit. So inside of our link item, okay, we're going to add some more styling to it. All right. So right after this class name, do a comma, and we're going to add, so if it's footer, which we didn't send over yet, so we're going to send it over here in a second. So it's footer, and if it's is active, and we're going to do a text sky 400, and we do a round it of none, and BG transparent. So it's basically taking all the styles from earlier away. And we're also going to do link like that. All right, take a quick look. So we're going to get an error actually, because we're taking, and it's going to say footer is not defined. Okay, so yeah, footer is not defined. Let's go ahead and take in this prop now, and let's go ahead and send it over inside of our footer. So I think all we got to do is just do footer equals footer, if I'm not mistaken, or we could just do footer. That should result into true, I believe. I'll just do footer like that. And head back over to our link item, and as you can see, we got the underline from our link, so that's what this link is, but it's not giving that blue color. So I think that's because on this styling we're checking if it is active, and that's it. So we're not checking if it's not footer, if footer is not true. So that's what we have to do. So is active, I'm gonna do it if it's not footer, like that, and then we do another and statement like that, and let's see if that works. Okay. Oh, too many O's. I got too excited. And there we go. So now we got, as you can see, it changes. Got the nice styling. Perfect. And light and dark looks amazing. Nice. All right, so now I think it's time to start our hero section. All right, so inside of our components, let's go ahead and create our hero component. Hero.jsx. And let's go ahead and put it inside of our home page, which is here. So we can get rid of all of this. And we can do fragments and go ahead and import our hero. Oh, we forgot to export it. Let's go ahead and export it right quick. All right, and head back over to our page, and now we should be able to import it. All right, there we go. All right, hero. All right, cool. So give this some time to load, and we see hero there. Let's make it dark mode. All right, there we go. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and start writing, creating our hero component. So we got 3 imports. We're gonna import image from Next. We're gonna import post from our constants. All right, and we're gonna import link from Next, like that. All right, so we're going to be using 2 JavaScript methods here. We're going to be using filter and slice. Let's go ahead and do that now. So first one we're going to use is filter. So we're going to do a cons featured post, and this is going to equal post dot filter, and this is going to take in a post, and it's just going to return our post dot featured triple equals to true. So that's basically, we head over to our data, which is under our constants. We got some posts that equals featured as true, and some were featured as false. This JavaScript method is just grabbing all of the ones that equals to true, because if you head over to our finished one, I think I can pull it up here, one second. That one, we head over to here. All right, there we go. So this is the completed one. We have our feature posts and we got our latest posts. So up here will be our feature posts, and we got 2 big boxes and 3 small boxes. So we're going to be grabbing just 5 of them. So we'll be using the slice method. So we're going to do a const top post. And this is going to equal to feature post dot slice. And we're going to start from the index of 0 and go up to 2. So we're just grabbing 2 posts. We're making a new array with this slice. I believe, yeah, this returns a new array if I'm not mistaken. So we're just grabbing these 2 here. So there's for 0 index and the 2 up to 2. And then we're going to do bottom post. All right. And this is going to equal feature post dot slice. And we're going to start from 2 and end at 5. But here's the thing. We're just like in our data we have more posts. We have more than 5 posts that's featured. So this slice method is only returning us 5. That's what we want. We don't want all of the ones that says feature true, because I believe it's like 8 of them if I'm not mistaken. So let's head over back to Hero. So we got our top post and our bottom post. So this is returning us 3 and this is returning us 2. All right, so let's write some JSX. All right, so we're gonna do a section. I tried to be a little semantic in this project and do a class name of py5. All right, in here we're gonna have a div, and it's gonna have a class name of wrapper, which is coming from our global CSS. And we're gonna have another div in here. We're gonna have a class name of grid, medium, grid Kyle 4. On large screens, we're gonna do a grid Kyle 6. And we're gonna do a gap X of 0. Gap X of 0. And for medium screens and up, we're gonna do a gap X of 6. And we're also gonna do just a gap of 5, like that. All right. So in here, we're gonna map through our top post array that we created with the slice method. So we're gonna do brackets, and we're gonna do top post dot map, and we're gonna take in a post and an index, and we're returning JSX. We gotta do parentheses. We're gonna do a div. Not sure why we're not getting autocomplete here. Top post that, let's see, get rid of all of this right quick. We're returning that and do parentheses. We got the close one there. All right, so in here, we're gonna do a div. I don't know why we're not getting autocomplete, it's weird. And it's gonna have a key of index. And it's also gonna have a class name of medium screens, px0, medium screen call span 2, overflow hidden, rounded SM, and also a shadow. All right, there we go. And this needs to be like that. And we also need a closing one. I don't know why it's not autocomplete. It's weird. Div, like that. All right, so something's up. Let's see. Outpost dot map. That's weird. All right, let's just finish. We'll figure it out. Oh, okay. I think I see. So this just needs another bracket like that. That makes sense. Okay. Another parenthesis, sorry. All right, let's take a quick look. So we shouldn't see anything because we didn't even use our posts, anything in our posts. All right, so we want it to return. In here, we're going to return a div, and it's going to have a class name of relative, overflow hidden, and a width of full. All right. Inside this div, we have another div, and it's going to have a class name of absolute, height of full, a width of full, and a BG of black /20. So like that. Let's see if we can see it. All right, so yeah, we shouldn't see anything actually. So this is kind of like the overlay. So we can actually make this a self-closing tag, the div, like that. All right, so we'll do another div in here, and this is going to have a class name of absolute, a pattern of 5, a width of full, and a height of full. All right, and in here, this is where we're going to start rendering out stuff for our post. So we're going to have h2, and inside this h2, we're going to have a post dot title, like that. Take a look. All right, so my apologies. Right underneath this div here, you can remove the h2 for now. We're actually going to have another div, and this is going to have a class name of flex call, justify between, and a height of full, like that. All right, and in here we're gonna have a div. I'm not taking any class names, but in here we're gonna have our h2 now. Don't know what the hell that was. h2, and this is going to be our post dot title. Let's see if we can see it now. Huh. Okay. Let's finish up and see. Maybe there's something that I miss up here. Maybe it's inside this div. We got our grid. All right, yeah, let's just finish out. Add a class name to this. Put a class name of text white. Text 3XL, a font of bold, a margin bottom of 2, and a px of 1. All right. Let's see, top post. It's really confusing me a little bit. All right, h2, and you have a span. Under here, let's do a class name of text gray 50, a BG of sky 400, a rounded MD, and a PX of 2. All right. So inside of this span, this is where we're gonna have our tag at. We'll do a post dot tags, like that. All right. I might gotta restart my server. That's probably what's going on. All right, so I believe the reason why we're not seeing our posts is because we need to finish up and add our image, because our image is what creates the height for our hero section. So as you can see, we don't have any height set or anything. So let's go ahead and finish up. I was sitting here testing out and trying to debug this whole thing, and I honestly think it's because we don't have our image or anything set yet. So let's go ahead and finish up. So right underneath this span, we're going to, so right underneath this div, underneath this span, so right there, we're gonna have another div, and this is going to have a class name of text white, a font of bold, a text of small, flex col, and a gap of 1. We might actually take the flex off, but for now let's just keep it. Inside here we're gonna have another span, and it should just be post dot publish date, like that. Okay, just gonna save that. Like I said, we shouldn't see anything. So 3 divs, 3 closing divs down, because I know this is a little bit confusing. I'm kind of zoomed in, and I just want to make sure you guys see everything, so that's why I'm zoomed in a lot. So we got 1, 2, 3. So 3 divs down. We're gonna have our image, and this is going to be coming from Next.js. I think we already imported it. Image, that's self-closing tag. And for this, we're going to do src, and it's going to be our post dot image URL, and we're going to do an auth. We're going to do we should do blog picture, and our class name is going to be width full, a height of full, and an object cover, like that. All right. And we also going to set a height within the Next.js image tag as well. We're going to do 400 and a width of 400. Okay. Let's just make sure everything. We got 2 divs. Okay, nice. Let's go ahead and save this, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we're getting an error, and that's because we're using the image in our Next.js image tag, and whenever you're using an image with this tag, that's not in your project. So we're basically fetching the image from Unsplash. So if you head over to our post, as you can see, we're using this image URL. So it's not like our actual image in our project. So since we're using a URL, we got to make sure we add this URL to our next config file. And that's what we're going to do here. So in here, we're going to let me find it here, next config. All we got to do here is inside this next config, we're going to do images. Okay, not that. Images. And we're just going to do domains. And this is where you just add your domains in. So you can just go by the error. So if you're not using Unsplash, then most of the time the error has what you need to import into next config. So here's the URL here, images.unsplash.com. So I'm going to copy that and then paste it right there. So now once I save, hopefully the error goes away. All right, so once you load back up your project, you probably see that we have our images, but they a little bit too small. So we forgot a styling here. I want to say it's this div right here. Actually, it's the one with our key. So this one here. So we got a medium call span 2. We actually want to add a LG of call span. Let me make a space. Sorry. So do our LG call span 3, like that. And now our images are bigger, and that's what we want. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and do our bottom post. So right underneath all of this, I'm gonna say right here, right underneath this div here. So this div is holding our top grid. So right here, we're going to have our bottom post. So we're gonna do a div, and we do a class name of grid. Medium screens is going to be grid Kyle2. On LG screens, we're going to do a grid Kyle3. And the gap of X0. And medium screens is going to be a gap of X6. And margin top of 6. And a gap of 5. So similar, I think it's actually like the same exact styling as this. But it's going to be a little bit different. All right, so here, this is where we're going to map through our bottom post. So we're going to do bottom post dot map, and we're going to take in a post, and we also going to take in our index, and we're returning JSX. So make sure you put parentheses. We're going to return a div. All right, getting that same little error again. Let's make sure we do this right. All right, so arrow function, parentheses, and I don't know why I'm getting an error. Let's see, post, bottom post. So that's closing there. I think we need, actually, yeah, this should be right. I don't know why it's not closing, why it's not working right. The autocomplete. All right, let's just start it over. Let's do a bottom post dot map, and we're gonna take in a post and also our index. All right, and then here, yeah, that should be it right there. So let's see. Let's just go ahead and let's write a div and do a closing div, and then in here just add like the word hi. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's working. There we go. We got 3. All right, so it's just been bad right now. All right, so in here, div. And this div is going to have a key of our index, and also a class name of medium screens px0, the bg of black, relative, rounded sm, and an overflow of hidden. All right, so let's see. Oh, we forgot to close the div. Like that. All right. So this one up here, a little bit different. I don't think we need the BG black. Let's take that off. And so this one is rounded SM. So up here, let's actually, okay, yeah, this was rounded SM as well. And we got a shadow. Let's add a shadow to these as well. We're gonna do a shadow. That. All right. So in here, in this div, really the same exact thing. So we can actually just copy this. So from, let's see where to copy it from. So all of this code here, all the way to this div right underneath the image. It's going to copy that, and then we're going to paste this in there. Okay, and there we go. We got our 3 images. Nice. All right, perfect. We got the shadow, rounded SM. All right, cool. So our hero section is really done, but we do have to come back on it whenever we add our dynamic routes. But for now, I say we go ahead and do the latest post, which is this section right underneath our hero. So Let's make sure everything looks good. Our shadow's working. So let's go ahead and make the latest post section. All right, so before we make our latest post component, we're actually going to make another component called post card. So that way, whenever we can use this component inside of our post as well, and not just on our home page, so we don't have to keep rewriting the code over and over again. So this is going to be a reusable component. So let's go ahead and create that now. It'll be postcards, postcard.jsx. All right, RAFE. All right, so we got a few imports. We're gonna go ahead and import link from Next. We're gonna import image. I don't know what just happened. Image for image from Next. And we also going to import a React icon as well. And it's going to be BS arrow right short from React icon /BS. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and write some JSX. So we're going to have a div. And this div is going to have a class name of dark, BG dark. Actually, just so we can see what we're doing, I think we should actually just, for now, let's just return a div and let's just say hello for now. And now we're gonna actually make the latest post component now, just so that way we can see what we're doing. So create another component and it's gonna be called latest post.jsx. All right, and here we're gonna import post, and that's coming from our constants. And let's do a RFE right quick. Get rid of this. And we're also going to import our post card that we just made. Okay. And let's go ahead and write some JSX. So it's going to be a section with a class name of width full, margin top of 10. And inside we're gonna have a div with a class name of wrapper. Inside this div we're gonna have another div with a class name of relative, and we're gonna have another div with a class name of absolute, inset of 0, flex, and item center. All right, and in here we're gonna have a div, a self-closing div, because we're just using this for just the border top. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about here in a second. So we can just make this a self-closing div like that, and we're gonna do a class name of width full, border T, and a border gray 300, like that. Let's see what we're working with. We actually gotta head over to our page right quick. Where are we at? Page, and we have to import it, put it right underneath here, latest post, like that. All right, let's see what we're working with. All right, so that's funny. So it's showing the bent, as you can see, so it's dark mode. So that is our border top right there, that white thing. It's kind of right there next on top of our footer, so you can't really see it, but once we add everything in, you'll be able to see it. So let's head back over to latest posts, and right after this div here we're going to have another div, and this is going to have a class name of relative, a flex, justify center, and a text of small. And in this, we're gonna have a span with a class name of BG, gray 100, px of 3, text of gray 900, a text of 2xl, dark is going to be a BG of medium, and also our dark is going to be a text of gray 50, like that. And we can actually take text small off right there. We don't need that. Let's take a quick look. We forgot to put something in our span. So inside of our span, we're actually going to add latest post, like that. This is basically our title. As you can see, nice little cool effect. And if we go to light mode, it changes the background. And if we go dark mode, there we go. Nice. All right, so underneath the span, underneath that div, and underneath this div, we're gonna have a div, and this is going to be a class name of grid. On large screens is going to be grid col 3, and we know a gap of 10. Grid col 2 for smaller screens, and we're gonna do a max xsm of grid col 1. I probably could have used our media query. We're gonna do a margin top of 10, like that. All right, so now we can see our latest posts a little bit better. All right, and in here, this is where we're gonna map through our post again. So we're gonna do post dot slice, and we're gonna start at 7, end at 13. And then the cool thing is you can use slice, you can also use map on that slice, because the slice returns an array. So now we're gonna do a dot map, and same thing, we're gonna do a post, and then we're gonna do an index, and we're returning JSX, so make sure you put parentheses. Come down a little bit, and in here we're just gonna return our post card. All right, but we actually want to send it over some props. So we're gonna do post equals post, and we're also gonna send it over to index as well. Index equals index, like that. Nice. All right, so we shouldn't see anything. Actually we do, because we see a bunch of hellos because inside of our postcard we got hello there. Let's go ahead and receive our props and start fixing up our postcard. So in here, we're gonna do post and index, like that. All right, cool. So it's gonna do parentheses, we're gonna do a div, and we're gonna do a key. It's going to be index, and this is also going to have a class name of dark, BG dark, a rounded of SM, overflow hidden, shadow of XL. All right, and inside of this div, we're going to have another div, and it's going to have a class name of with full and flex. Right, and this way we're gonna have an image, and our image is going to take some stuff. So let's make some space. Let me src, and it's going to take our post dot image URL, image underscore URL, And we're gonna do a height of 900, a width of 900, and our alt can be a blog post again, blog image, forgot what I named it. And the class name is going to be rounded SM. All right, so let's see if we see anything. So we see the boxes. Nice. We see everything. It's loading up. Nice. So we got our images there. So right underneath this div, we're gonna have another div, and it's gonna have a class name of px3. We could just do a pattern of 3. And in here, another div with a class name of flex, a gap of 5, and a margin top of 3. All right. And inside this div, we're gonna have our tags. So we're gonna have a div, and this is going to have a class name of border. Actually, we don't need the border. We're gonna do a px of 3. I'm gonna make this an inline block. And we're gonna do a text of gray 50, a BG of sky 400, a rounded MD, and we also gonna do a white space, no wrap, and I believe that should be it for now. Let me just make sure. Scroll over a little bit. Gotcha. All right, cool. Let's just take a quick look. So in here, we could just do our post dot tags like that. Let's see if we can see them now. And nice, we see it. And the cool thing is we can light and dark, it still looks nice. So we don't gotta set any dark color for it. All right, so that's that. I'm trying to think. We probably don't even need, because I was experimenting a lot with some of this stuff, so I don't even think we need this div around there, because yeah, I don't think we need that. Yeah, so remove that div around the div that's around our post tags. So right underneath here, we're gonna have a div, and it's gonna be a class name of text XL. Text XL, a margin top of 3, a text gray 900, font of bold, and on dark screens we want the text to be white. All right, and in here, this is where we're gonna have our post.title. Post.title. Okay, I did something wrong here. I think we forgot to put the closing tag there, maybe. Let's just go back. See what we did here. Okay, I see. Okay, we forgot the. All right, so let's do post.title. Sorry, like that. All right, so let's see if we can see the title now. Nice. We got our title there, and now we're gonna do our paragraph, but we'll be using another JavaScript method in this called substring, because we only want to show 150 characters, because we don't want to show the whole entire paragraph that we have inside of our data. So right underneath this div, we have a p tag, and this is going to have a class name, a margin top 3. On dark screens, we're going to do a text of white. We're going to do a text of gray 900, and then a text of small. All right, and in here we're going to do our post dot paragraph, paragraph. Hopefully I spell that right. Okay, and we're gonna do dot substring and do 0 to 150. All right, and then we gotta do the plus sign. Let's make some space here. So plus, we're gonna do post dot paragraph dot length is greater than 150 question mark, and then add a dot dot dot, and then else we're not going to add anything like that. All right, so now we should see 3 dots after it. So as you can see, this one doesn't have the dots because this is not greater than 150, as you can see. So yeah, that's this part of the code there. That's why we did the plus sign. So there we go, that's that. And now right underneath this p tag, we're gonna have a div, and it's gonna have a class name of flex, margin top of 3, gap of 3, and an item center. Item center. All right, in here we're gonna have an image. All right, and src is going to be our post dot author image. The width is going to be 40. The height is going to be 40. And the class name is going to be rounded full. Object cover. Oh, not contain. Object cover. And we're going to do a width of 10 on our class name and a height of 10. So I'm actually want to show you guys this for a second because it kind of took me a while to figure out. I'm going to do a border 2, and then we're going to do a border sky 400. So let's make sure our image load. Okay, author image. All right, so our author images should load in there. Nice. So the reason why I had to set a width and a height there, so if we take this off, right, and we just keep the width and the height on the Next.js image component, look what happens. It's not a full circle. I'm not sure why, but to fix that, you just got to add a width and a height within the class name of the image itself. So yeah, that fixes that. And right underneath this image tag, so when we have a div, and it's gonna have a class name of flex, a gap of 2. On dark screen, it's gonna be a text of white. Then we're gonna do a text gray 500. 500. And we also could do a text of small. All right. And in here, this is where we're gonna have our author name. We also have like a little how long it takes to read the blog. We're gonna do post dot author name. All right, and then we're gonna do a span, and in the span it's like this little dot. You can go on the internet and find it. It's like a little dot here. I believe I just put like dot icon or something like that. And then we're gonna do a span, and then we're just gonna do 5-minute read like that. They're all gonna be 5-minute read. All right, cool. And our latest post is complete. Let's make sure it looks good on light mode. Nice, it looks beautiful. And switch back to dark mode. I really like dark mode. All right, cool. So now I say we go ahead and do our dynamic routing. All right, so doing dynamic routing in Next.js is so easy to do. All you have to do is go ahead and close out everything. So we can get a fresh start and close out everything. So inside of our app, we're going to create a folder, and it's going to be called blog slash ID. Okay. And in here, we're going to have a page .tsx. All right. And let's go ahead and do RAFE, export it. Let me just bring this over here. All right, so in here, so this is going to be our blog page. So whenever we click on one of these, it's going to take me to best practice for safety blog, and then have more info about this blog. So I don't know why I'm getting an error in here. I think it's just broken. Taking some time to catch up. Oh, I put TSX. I'm building a full stack project right now, and I've been using TypeScript. So, all right. So JSX. Let's get rid of that. All right. So let's head back over to our. Where is it? Our app. Our components, and then head down to latest posts. And now we're going to use the link tag that we imported, and it's so simple. All we're going to do, we're going to do link. All right, and we're going to wrap all of this inside of a link. So let's go ahead and just cut that and then wrap everything. Actually, I got the wrong thing, sorry. We're actually going to head over to our postcard, and we're wrapping all of this with our link. So we're going to wrap all of this with our link. Scroll down. All right, there we go. So we're going to get an error because our link needs a href. So the href, whoa. What was that? Href. Okay, so we're gonna do double brackets like that, and we do a path name of we're gonna do backticks. We do blog slash $ brackets post .id like that. We're gonna do a comma, and then we're gonna do query is going to be. We're going to do the spread operator and post. So basically we're just sending over the data to our page. Our blog ID. So let's click on this. And as you can see, we see page now. So that's good. That's what we want. So in here, we actually got to receive some props. So built into Next.js, you can receive params, which I don't even think we use, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think we need params. Let's just do search params. Search params like that. It has to be in brackets like that. And let's just make sure this works. So inside of this div, we can just do, let's do search params dot title. Like that, and let's see what happens. So if we see the title now, and we can see the title. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Class text white text 3XL. All right, so there we go. We can see that, and let's go ahead and click on another one and see if we can see it. Nice, so it's working. So I know you guys don't want to write search params dot everything. So to fix that, all we got to do is just, you can name this whatever we want. We're gonna do a cons post, and it's just gonna equal search params. So now we could just change this to post, and we got the same results. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and fix up this page right quick since we're here. So let's do a div, and I have a class name of py10 and a BG of cover. All right. I don't think we actually need a BG of cover. I think I was experimenting with that as well. So do a div, and I'm gonna do a class name of MX Auto, a max width of 1400 pixels. On medium screens, we're going to do a width of 90%. And we also could do a BG cover here as well. And we're going to do position relative. All right. So still inside this div, we're going to write some inline styling. So we're going to do a style, and you got to do double brackets. So we're going to write some inline style now. Let's see, scroll up. So we're going to do a background image. And this is going to be backticks, URL, and we're going to do $ brackets, and it's going to be our post.image underscore URL. Let's see if we can see this now. Oh, I think I see why. So we gotta add more styling. Let's do a background position, and this is going to equal to 100%, like that. And we also going to do a background repeat, and it's going to equal to no repeat, like that. All right, let me just go back home. Let's click on this. All right, so the reason why we don't see anything because we don't have any content inside of this div. That's the whole reason why. So let's go and add some content in it now. So we got a div, have a class name of absolute, top of 0, BG of black /20, so I mean opacity 40, and a width of full, and a height of full. So this is basically just like an overlay, so we can actually make this a self-closing tag, like that. All right, so like I said, we're not going to see anything yet because we don't have any content. This right here is just a overlay. Let's do a div just to make it a little bit darker so we can see our text. Do no div, class name, relative, pattern of 10, flex, justify center, flex of call, a width of full, and an item center, like that. All right, so inside of this div, this is where we're going to have all our content. So we're going to have a span, and this is going to be our tags. Let's style it up a bit. We're going to do a class name, a BG sky 400, px of 2, a text of gray 50, and a rounded MD. And here we can put our post tags. All right, so we should see that. There we go, as you can see, and we can see the background a little bit as well. All right, cool. So right underneath this span, let's have our H1. This is gonna be our title. We have a class name of text 3XL, a font of bold. Wait, why am I console.login? What in the world? Class name of text 3XL, a font of bold, font bold, and a text of gray 550, and a margin top of 5. And in here we're gonna have our post dot title, like that. Nice. All right, so let's keep going. Right underneath this H1, this is where we have our image. I'm gonna do a div, well, our author image, and our author name, and our author date as well. So in here, we're gonna do a div, and I'm gonna do a sorry, do a class name with full flex flex call, a justify center, item center, gap of 4, text MD, I don't think they got a, do they even got a text MD? I think it's font MD, right? Or maybe it's text MD. I need to go to sleep. I don't think they got a text MD. Let's do a text gray 50. All right. And in here, so we're gonna have our image. All right, and the SRC is going to be, oh, I don't think did we import it? Oh, we didn't, that's why. Let's go to import it. Image from Next. All right, so the SRC is going to be our post dot author image, and our width is going to be 300. Our height is going to be 300, and our alt is going to be author, and our class name is going to be rounded full, width of 40, height 40, object cover, border sky 400, and a border 4, and a margin top of 5. Let's see if we can see this now. Hopefully, there we go. We got our image. So right underneath here, we're gonna have a div, a class name of flex, flex call, gap 1, a text of center, and a font of bold. And here we're gonna have our span. So we're gonna have span, gonna be a post dot author name, and also have another span, and this is going to be our post dot publish date, like that. Not with ed, published, publish. There we go. There we go. Nice. All right, cool. So I believe that is it for this section. Let me make sure. So once we click on one, we got this one and an overlay showing, so it can make the text and everything pop out. This looks nice. Actually, we're not done. Right underneath, so 1, 2, 3, 4 closing divs down. You're gonna do a div into a class name of wrapper, a margin top of 10, a text of gray 900, and on dark screen it's gonna be a text of white. Actually a text of gray 50. And we're also gonna do a flex call, and a gap of 5. And in here, you could just post, create p tag, and just gonna do post dot paragraph, paragraph, sorry, ph. Oh man, I need to go to sleep. It's like 4 in the morning right now. It's the only time I get to record. All right, and we can just paste this a few times just to make it a little bit bigger. All right, so let's go ahead and add dynamic routes to our feature page right quick. So let's head over to there. So featured, where you at? Or hero, I believe it is hero. We're gonna open it up here. So same thing, we're just gonna wrap our stuff up with our link tag. Make sure we gotta import it. So we do have it imported. So right underneath this div with the key, I'm gonna do a link with this. And now it's gonna wrap all of our stuff with this. So just be careful. It's gonna be right in between these two divs here. So where it's gonna close at. So like that. Okay. And we are going to get that error, but same thing. Let's go ahead and just copy it from our postcard right quick. Just gonna do this same exact href, copy that, 0, and then paste it in here like that. All right, so let's give that a second to load, and let's go ahead and click on that one. And this is a better example. So we got paragraphs with more words, and this looks so much better. And same with this one. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and add dynamic routes to these as well. So I'm just gonna copy this here. So we're gonna scroll down, and right underneath this div, add that in. We can go ahead and cut this link, and right in between these two divs, paste that in there. And now we should have dynamic routes on these as well. Retro tech. Nice. Perfect. All right. So now I say we go ahead and do our post page. All right. So we're going to make two components. The first one is going to be post with an s.jsx. And the next one is going to be post filters, post filter.jsx. All right, and we can go ahead and export it. And same with the post. All right, and let's head over to our post page, and we're going to import post in here. Import post from our components, and here we could just write fragments and put post like that. All right, so let's head over to our post page, which is here. Click on it, and now we should see post. All right, so we're gonna create a filter for it. I say we go ahead and do the filter first, and then actually let's do the post first, because we got to pass the filter some state and stuff. So let's go ahead and do this one first. All right, so in here we're going to do a use client, and we're going to import some things. We're going to import post from our constants. We're going to import use effect from React, and we also going to import CLSX. All right, so those should be the only imports we need. Actually, I think I'm on the wrong slide. So we're actually not gonna need these imports for this one. Sorry, I was on the let me just close out of this so I won't get confused. Close out all of this stuff. And we got a bunch of stuff open here. So I opened up the project, and my import alias was all broken, so I had to like rename everything. That's the only thing about using that import alias, is it breaks sometimes, and I try to do research on how to fix it, and apparently there's no fix for it right now. All right, so let's go ahead and import use state from React. And we're going to import our postcard, and we also going to import post filter. Post filter, and this is going to be from /post filter. Okay, and let's go ahead and set some state. So we're gonna do a const active category. And we're gonna do a set active category. And this is going to equal use state. And the default is going to be all. That's gonna be our default category. And we're gonna set a few more state. We're gonna do a cons filter and a set filter. Set filter. And this is going to equal use state. And the default value is going to be an empty array. Okay. And last but not least, we're gonna do a cons visible projects. Visible projects. And then a set visible projects. And this is going to equal use state. And you can I started off with 6, so we're just gonna do 6 in there, but you can do more if you want. All right, so visible projects, filtered, and active category. Nice. And now let's go ahead and do a load more function. So whenever we click on the load more projects, some more is rendered out on the page. I'm gonna do a cons. I'm gonna do load more projects. It's gonna equal that, and we're just gonna set visible projects. Set visible projects to be. Let me make some space here so you guys can see. It's going to be prev visible projects, and it's going to return our prev visible projects plus 4. All right, and like I said, you can change this number as well. So if you want to load 6 more projects, I mean 6 more blogs, I probably should have changed this from visible projects. Let's actually change this, because this is the same exact filter that I use for my portfolio website. So that's why it says projects. I kind of just copied over the code from it. So yeah, just so you guys can understand it a little better, let's do visible blogs. Or visible post like that, and then set visible post like that. And then here we just gotta change this, so load more post and set visible post, and change these to post. Pre-visible post plus 4. All right, nice. All right, so let's go ahead and write some JSX, because we're gonna send over our filter some props. So this is gonna be a div, and we're gonna do a class name of width full and a height of fit, like that. And we're gonna have a div with our wrapper class. And in here we're gonna have our post filter, self-closing tag, and like I said, we're gonna send it over some props. So we're gonna do set filter, and that's going to equal set filter, and we're gonna send over active category. That's gonna equal active category, and we also gonna send over set active category, and that's going to equal set active category, like that. All right, nice. And underneath this div, or underneath this post filter, we have another div, and it's gonna have a class name of grid. On medium screens is going to be grid cow 2, and then on small screens we're going to do grid cow 1, and we're going to also do a gap of 5. All right, and in here, this is where we're gonna map through our filter, but we also want to slice it as well. So we're gonna do filter, dot slice, and we're going to start from 0, but instead of adding a number here like we did before, we're actually going to start from visible posts, sorry. And then, like I said, slice returns an array, so that means we can map through it now. Do a dot map, and we're going to do post. That's going to do the index, and we're going to return some stuff. Return JSX, so make sure you do parentheses, and we're just going to return our post card. It's our reusable component that we made. And then right underneath here, I'm going to do another div, and this is going to have a class name of py10. And in here, we're going to have visible projects, visible posts is less than our filtered dot length. And we're gonna do n. Now we want to show that button. We're gonna do a div. I forgot, this thing messes up sometimes. I'm gonna do a div, and it's gonna have a class name of text center and a margin top of 4. All right, and let's make sure we close it. I'm not getting that autocomplete that I want. Scroll down. Let's actually save this. Maybe we can see some stuff here. Now let's go back to post. Okay, yeah, we don't see anything because we didn't do our filter yet. All right, cool. So inside this div is where we're gonna have our button, and we're gonna have some class names, and also gonna have our on click, which is going to be that load more posts function that we made. And do the class name is going to be BG Sky 400, and a hover is going to be BG Dark Blue. What BG Dark Blue 7? Let's not do that one. Let's do BG Sky 200. And then we're gonna do a PY of 2, a PX of 4, a text of white, and also a rounded MD, like that. And in here, we're just gonna show, it's gonna say show more, like that. All right, cool. Take a look. Like I said, we shouldn't see anything because we didn't do our filter yet. It just says post filter. All right, so I believe that is it for our posts, and now we got to head over to our post filter and start writing some code in here. All right, so inside of the post filter, I'm gonna make this a use client, and we're gonna import a few things. First, we're gonna import post from our constants, and then we're also gonna import use effect. Import use effect. And then we're also going to import CLSX. Okay. And now what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and receive our props before we do anything. We're going to receive set filtered. And we're also going to receive set active category. And also active category. All right, so in here we're gonna run a use effect, all right, and we're gonna do an if check. So we're gonna do if our active category is triple equals to all we're gonna do is just set filtered to post. All right, and after this we got to return. All right, so this is basically the default. I am getting an error here, 1 second. So I forgot to close the parenthesis up here, right there. All right, so we just want to return if the active category is all, and that's our default. So basically we're just going to set filter to post, and it's just going to show all of our posts. All right, and then still inside of the use effect, we're going to do a cons filter, and this is going to equal post dot filter, and we're going to take in a post, and we're going to return post with an S, without an S, sorry, dot tags, and we're going to do a dot includes. So if the tags includes one of our active categories, all right, and now we're going to set filter to filter, all right. And we do need a dependency array. I think I messed up here. Oh, I forgot the equal sign. All right, and we do need a dependency array, so we'll be looking at any changes inside of our active category like that. All right, so that is the use effect right there. Let me make some space here. Prettier just brought it back up. All right, cool. So I believe that's it. Let's go ahead and write some JSX. All right, so we're gonna do a fragment, and we're gonna have a div, and this div is gonna have a class name of flex, gap of 5, a my of 10, flex wrap, a justify center, and also on dark screens we want the text to be white. All right, and in here we're gonna have a button. I think we're getting an error. Let's see. So it cannot, well, okay, it went away. Wait, it came back. Cannot read properties of undefined reading URL. Whoa. Post.id. That's weird. Let's go back, see what the issue is. Maybe I think here I know we need a question mark there, but I don't think that should fix that error. We're getting an error on postcard, so let's go look at postcard real quick. All right, so it took me a while to get it, and I think I found the issue. So here underneath our post page, or our post component, if you head over to postcard, we're expecting we're expecting a prop, but here we're not giving it the prop. It is receiving a prop inside of another component, which I believe it is latest post. It's receiving this, where is it? Yep, see, it's receiving a post here, and if you head over to just localhost 3000, so as you can see, we don't get the error. Everything renders fine, but whenever we head over to our post page and our post component renders, that's when we get the error. So head back over to post, and we're just going to say post equals post, and that should get rid of the error now. It's going to refresh, and hopefully it goes to dark mode, and as you can see, our blogs start to render. So let's head back to post filter, and let's see where we left off. So we was here at this div. Let me go and open it back up on this monitor. Post filter. All right, so inside of this div, we're gonna have a button, and this button is going to have a class name of CLSX parentheses, and we're gonna do quotes. So we're gonna do a default styling first. So we're gonna do a PY of 1 and a PX of 3, and then we're gonna comma, and then we're gonna do a conditional class name. So we're gonna do active category triple equals to all. So our active category is equal to all, we want the class name to be, I can do single quotes here, to be BG Sky 400. We want the text to be white, and we want to round it of MD. Okay, and as you can see, we're getting this little error. That's because we got to write a else basically. So else, right after this, we're just gonna return null like that. All right, so let's go ahead and save that. And inside of this button, it's just gonna say all. And we also want to add an on click to this as well. So right under this, we're gonna have on click, and basically it's just gonna return set active category to all like that. All right. So now what we can do is actually just copy. Let's just see how the button looks first. We're gonna save it, and we should see there. So now we see all, and it's highlighted because it's currently our active category. So let's actually copy this button here, and we're gonna paste it 1 2 3 4. Let's do like 4 times. 1 2 3 4 more times. All right, and then you can see we got a bunch of alls. So now we just got to change up some of the text in each one. So the next one is going to be web development. So active category equals web development. All right, and then same here, we're gonna change this. Instead of all, it's gonna say web development. All right, and then instead of all here, it's gonna say web development development. Well, I'm spelling that right. All right, the next one is going to be cybersecurity. Here, cyber security. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this, and then instead of this all, it's gonna be here, and then instead of that all, it's going to be there. Uppercase it. Take a quick look at everything, make sure it's working right. There we go. We got cybersecurity, and we can also click each one. It's going to change the last two. So the last two is mobile development and artificial intelligence. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this. And instead of all here, gonna be mobile development. Instead of all there, it's gonna be mobile development and mobile development here. I'm gonna uppercase the M and uppercase the D. All right, and then last but not least is artificial intelligence. Copy that from over here as well, and paste it in here. Oh, I'm gonna delete that one. All right, and all, and in here, instead of artificial intelligence, I just did AI because it kind of took up a lot of space. Need to do AI, and there we go. And we should have our filter. Everything should be working. So this is all of our posts here, and we got our show more button. So once we click, some more shows, and some more shows, and some more renders as well. That shows all of our posts. And then once we click web development, here are all of our web development, cybersecurity posts here. Got our mobile development, and then our AI as well. So that's it for the post filter, which is good. So let's head back over to home. And we actually forgot a section here. We're gonna do our newsletter section now. All right, so let's go ahead and make the newsletter component. Newsletter.jsx. And let's go ahead and export it. And we're gonna head over to our page, our home page. It's inside of our layout, inside of our app. And right underneath latest posts, we're gonna put newsletter. And of course, it's not auto-completing, so we gotta manually import it. Newsletter. And it's going to be from /component/newsletter. All right, cool. Go ahead and make sure it renders. So there we go. is there. Let me go ahead and switch to light mode. You guys can see. There we go. We got our newsletter there. So inside of our newsletter, we're not going to do any imports. It's going to return some JSX. We're going to do a div. And we're going to have a class name of py20 and a margin top of 10. All right. And then in here, we have another div. It's going to be a class name of wrapper and also a class name of newsletter. All right. Take a quick look. There we go. We got our margin and stuff inside. Then we have another div. And this is going to have a class name of flex grow. All right. And a margin bottom of 12. On large screens, we're going to have a margin bottom of 0. And also on dark, it's going to be text white. All right. And then in here, we're going to have our H2. And it's going to say subscribe to our newsletter. All right. And this H2 is going to have some styling. It's going to have a class name of text4XL. 4XL, a margin bottom of 4, and a font of bold. Okay. All right, let's take a quick look at this. See if it shows up. There we go. All right, and right underneath our H2, we have a P tag, and it's just gonna say get all of the latest posts delivered straight to your inbox, and it's not going to take any styling, so you just go ahead and just type that in there. Let's get rid of this. All right, take a quick look. So get all of the latest posts delivered to your inbox. All right, so right underneath this div that's underneath the P tag, we have another div. It's not going to take any class names. It's going to have a form in here. You can get rid of this action. This form is going to have a class name of newsletter dash form. All right, and we're going to have a label in here, and the HTML4 is going to be email. I believe we can just do 4 instead of just HTML4. So 4 email, and you can also do a class of SR only. All right, so I believe that's server side rendering, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe not. Hold on, what is this? Server side rendering, I forgot what it was. Let's look it up. Tailwind SR only. Forgot what it was. Oh yeah, screen readers. That's a server side rendering. Okay, so basically it is utilities for improving accessibility with screen readers. Okay, got you. So SR only, position absolute. So these are all the styling that it would get for screen readers. Use SR only to hide an element visually without hiding it from screen readers. Okay, that makes sense. So yep, I remember watching a video on accessibility, and I ended up adding SR only to the project. And so yeah, that's what it does, is basically it hides the element visually without hiding it from screen readers, so they'll be able to see the label, but we won't. All right, so we're going to email, and right underneath here we'll have a input. I'm really trying to get good with accessibility. I'm trying to get better at it because it's really important, and that's one of those things that I heard that make you really stand out as a developer, because even big YouTube channels that I follow, I don't want to name any names or anything, but they don't even bother putting any accessibility inside of their projects, and they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And so that's one thing that I'm really trying to get into learning, but I got a long ways to go. So we're gonna do a class name of newsletter input. All right, and we also gonna do a px of 6. All right, And we're gonna do an ID. Well, we really don't need this ID here. I'm gonna do a name, email. We're gonna do a placeholder of your email address, and a type is going to be email. This form ain't gonna do anything, but you could just, you know, make it okay. You can make it required as well. And right underneath this input, we're gonna have a button, and this button is going to have a class name of inline block, a height of 16, a rounded of full, a BG sky 400, a PY of 2, a PX of 8, position relative, a flex grow. On small screens, we're gonna have a small screens and up, we're gonna have a flex grow of 0, and then text white, like that. And if you want, even though this form ain't gonna do anything, but you should probably make it a habit to always make your buttons type submit. Okay. All right. And in here, instead of just writing our label inside our text, we're gonna actually have a span in here. Actually, we don't even need this span, to be honest. Let's just write subscribe like that. And let's take a look. Whoa. Okay. We have some issues here. I think I see the issue. This is supposed to be newsletter. And there we go. All right, cool. Let's make sure this works on dark mode. Obviously, it should work on dark mode. Well, I think the only thing changing is the input background, I believe, anyway. All right, so that is our, let's make sure it's responsive. Everything is responsive. Okay, looks nice. Yeah, I don't even think we ever checked was everything was responsive. Let's go to post page. Make sure this is responsive. Nice. All right, cool. So now I think it's time to do it's taking some time for this stuff to load. Now I think it's time to actually do the about page, and this page is gonna be really fast, really easy to do. So let's head over to our pages here, and we're just gonna code directly on our page. We're not gonna make any components. I don't think so. Let me open it up here. About page. Okay. All right. So we are going to import an image. We're going to import image from Next.js and start writing some JSX. All right. So we're going to have a div, and it's going to be a class name of py10. And in here, we're going to have another div. Class name is going to be wrapper, flex call, gap of 5, testify center, a item center, and then we have a h1, and h1 is going to have a class name of text 3xl, a font of bold, text gray 900, and on dark screens we want the text to be white, or actually let's make the text gray 50. All right, trying to stay, that's another thing I'm trying to learn as well as more UI UX design, because I was told you should never use black and make sure you use gray, and that is weird. Why we don't see anything because I didn't write anything inside the h1. I'm gonna do our story. All right, so there we go. Now there we go. Nice. Okay, so right underneath this h1 it's gonna have an image, and it's gonna be a self-closing tag, and the src is going to be /about.jpg. I believe we have that. Did we download that at the start of the project? Assets. Oh, I don't think we did. Okay, so we're gonna have to import that. So yeah, make sure you guys download the file in the description. We're gonna download it here in a second, but I'm just gonna go ahead and finish everything. Width is going to be 600. The height is going to be 600, and the alt is going to be about us, and the class name we're going to do a rounded MD. Okay, so right underneath this p tag, right underneath this image, we have a p tag, and this is just going to have a class name of max width 600 pixels, a text center, a text gray 600, and on dark screens we're going to do a text of white. All right, actually text gray 50. All right, and then inside of this p tag, only thing we're going to do is this lorem that I'm about to copy over. So some lorem there. All right, so I'm about to go ahead and download our image, so I'll be right back. Just make sure you guys download the folder that's in the description to get all of the project images. I'll be right back. Okay, so I downloaded the images. It's just 2. You can put them inside of the public/assets folder. So we got this about image there that I got off of Unsplash, and we also have our signature that we're going to add on this about page as well. And it's just something that I created on a website, a little signature website. All right, so let's head back over to our about page, and up here I got /about. I believe I have to put /assets /about for the image to load. Let's see, there we go. Make sure this works. Nice. And now let's just add our signature underneath it. So right underneath this p tag, I'm gonna have image, and src is just going to be /assets what was it, signature .png. I think it's .png. Just gonna hope it is. Do a width of 300, a height of 300, and the alt is just going to be tech posts. All right, cool. Let's hope that works. Nice. All right, so that is our signature. So I think we're almost done. We just gotta do the contact page. I'm just gonna do a quick look. Everything looks good there. The about us page, the post page, and now it's time for contact. So let's go ahead and do that. So head over to contact page. We're going to open it up here. And again, this is going to be hard coded in here as well. So obviously we're going to do a form. We're going to have some imports. So I'm going to copy these imports. There's just all React icons. I believe it's 4 of them. We got FA Twitter, FA YouTube, FA Facebook, F. Make sure you guys don't forget that F at the end. And that was coming from React icons /FA. And then we got AI fill Instagram, and that's coming from React icons /AI. /AI. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and write some JSX. So we're gonna have a div, class name, small screens. We're gonna do MX auto on small screens and up. We're also gonna do a width of full, and also on small screens and up, we're gonna do a max width of 1200 pixels. All right, so it's gonna be a little bit different than our normal like starter code py10 as well. All right, so we're gonna have a div, and it's gonna have our wrapper as well. Wrapper and do a bg gray 50. We're gonna do a px of 4, a py of 8, a shadow of lg, a rounded md, and on small screens and up we're gonna do px10. All right, take a quick look, see if we see anything. Yeah, we do. Nice. All right, so in here I have another div, and this is, let me scroll down some. This is going to have a class name of margin bottom 10, a text gray 900, and a width of full. All right, and inside of this div we're going to have a h1, and this is going to say get in touch. All right, and his h1 is going to have a class name of text 3XL, font of bold, and uppercase. And before I continue, this is one of those cases where I was learning accessibility, and this is one thing that they covered. So you should never uppercase your text, because I've seen this done so many times. You should never uppercase your text like this, like just make it uppercase, like hard coded in. You should always put a style in, because I was told that for accessibility, this is how you should do it. But yeah, so because I was doing it just hard coding it in, so instead of putting the uppercase, I would just make get in touch uppercase inside of the JSX. All right, so right underneath this h1 we're gonna have a span, and this is going to say please allow 24 hours for a response. All right, and the span is not going to have any styling. And right underneath this span we have another div, and it's going to have a class name of flex, a gap of 3, a width of full, item center, a margin top of 2, and I believe that is it for now. Let's take a look. Nice. All right, and in here we're gonna have our icons. They're all gonna have the same exact styling, so I'm actually just gonna copy this over and just paste this in. So you want all 4 icons in there. We got these are the stylings: just text 2XL, a P of 1, pattern of 1, rounded full, a text gray 50 for each one. So make sure you guys do that. Let's take a quick look. And it doesn't look like we see them. Okay. Oh, just because the text is gray 50. That makes sense. Okay, so we got to add a background to them. So there's a trick in Tailwind that allows you to grab all of the children. So you're gonna do brackets like that. You're gonna do a and sign, and then you're gonna do the greater than sign, and then you're also going to do that little star sign right there. And then all you're gonna do is that. So basically we're grabbing all of the children in here, and we want the BG sky 400, background to be sky 400. Let's see if that works. And there we go. Nice. All right, so 2 divs now. Now we're gonna have our form. We're gonna do a form, and this is just gonna have a class name of space y6. Right, and we're gonna have a div, and this is gonna have a class name of flex and a gap of 5. All right, and now let's start doing our inputs. I'm doing inputs. All right, make make some space there. So this one's gonna be a type of text, and a placeholder is just gonna say your name, and the class name is going to be block with the full, a rounded MD, a border of 0, a text gray 900, a shadow MD, actually a shadow is small, a ring of 1, a ring inset, a ring grade 300, and a placeholder. We're about to edit the placeholder now. This is really long styling. I had to scroll over. Placeholder is going to be text grade 400. We're going to do a pattern of 2. And on focus, we want the outline to be our website color. So it's going to be outline blue sky 400. All right, cool. So luckily we don't have to type all that again for each input. We're just going to copy and paste it. Let's go take a look at this one. So there we go. Once we click, nice. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and copy this input again, and we're going to paste it. And we're just going to change it up. So type is going to be email, and then placeholder, so we're going to say your email. Take a quick look. There we go. Nice. And so right underneath this div, we're gonna have actually not gonna have another div. I'm going to copy over another input. We could have made this into a separate component as well, but I believe like those are for like larger scale, like larger projects. So we could just do it this way. Do type text. The placeholder is going to be subject, and everything should be the same. Take a quick look. There we go. And now we just need our text area. It's gonna have the same styling, but just gotta make sure we put text area like that. And you can either do a self-closing tag. All right, so let's copy over this styling here, paste it there, and a placeholder is going to be your message. And we're also going to do a style, inline style, because we don't want, I mean, I personally don't like it. I don't like having people can resize it. I don't know, just make things look weird. So you can actually, I do it for all my sites. I'm going to resize, and it's just going to equal to none. All right, and we can also do the columns. We're going to do cols. It's going to be 5, and the rows is going to be 10, like that. And now it's time for our submit button. I'm going to do a button, and this is going to have a class name of width 1.5, so basically width 50%, a BG of sky 400, a pattern of 2, and a rounded MD, and also a text gray 50, a shadow of LG, and on hover we want the BG to be sky 300. All right, and we also want the duration to be 500. Nice. All right, let's go and write submit in here. Submit. Okay, quick look, and there we go. We got our submit button and hovers. Make sure it's look good on that screen. Looks okay. Nice. So I believe that is it for this project, guys. That was a fun one. Like I said, it's just more of like a front end practice site. Learned a lot in this project just by creating it. You know, we created custom hooks. We made some reusable components. This is my first time ever adding dark mode to a website as well. All my projects never had dark mode to it, so first time adding that, which I'm Really proud of doing as well. And a ton of other things, man. This was a fun one. So hopefully you guys like this one and tune in for my next projects. I got a ton of stuff I'm working on. I would open up my Notion and show you guys my content calendar. It is wild one. There's a lot coming up. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next video. Peace.